Alright, so hi everyone, Bright's here, and today we got a bit of a different video going on. I said I wouldn't do these videos anymore this year, but this is too much of an important topic to not talk about it, but yeah. Today we got kind of a rant video going on. So if you are in the Fortnite space, Twitter, etc., you probably know what this is about, but if you don't, a few days ago, Epic Games laid off 1,000 employees and announced, the shutting down of 3 game modes, that being Fortnite Ballistic, Rocket Racing, and Festival Battle Stage. I am beyond mad at this. So, I'm gonna just talk briefly about the game modes. The game modes is pretty bad. I am a huge fan of Ballistic. If you guys, watch the channel about the Shock and Awesome era of my channel, you know that me and my friends played a lot of that game mode. Like I'm talking a lot. It was some of the most fun I've had playing this game like ever. And I'm really sad to see it go. That game mode was not even finished, but this video is not really even about the game mode, and I'll get to that in like a bit. I just wanted to get the elephant out of the room because these are already bad as much, but they're not the main topic of discussion because they're not as bad as what I'm about to get to. That being the layoffs. Fucking Tim Sweeney laid off a total of 1,000 employees, and those are not. We've had that happen already, but we'll get to it in a second. That was not just random. Like, no, by the way, let me get this out of the way. I'm gonna be talking about some bigger names in this video, but to all the small developers, to all the people that are not as like big names, you guys deserve as much recognition as the bigger guys. But still, my fullest support goes to all of the developers who were unfortunately laid off without absolutely zero warning, by the way. So Fortnite came out on Twitter announcing these layoffs, and a lot of these developers found out they were laid off their job and fired off of Twitter. They did not know. They did not get an email. They did not get a warning, which should be like average. Like every job, even stuff that I worked like on, gave me a resignation letter or something like that. They didn't. Billion-dollar company. They did not even warn they were gonna fire these people. Some of these people are some of the like most important developers the game has had. We're talking about some people like Evan Kinney, who's if you're like he made everything basically. He's like one of the lead developers. He's behind most of the live events, competitive, replay mode. Like I could list like everything that he did for the game, and it would be like literally everything. Like he is one of the most important developers that the game has, and they just fired him out of the blue while he was still working, out of nowhere. This too. And that is concerning already because he was behind a lot of like the bugs fixes that we were having this season. And if that wasn't enough, another person that was really important that was laid off, and is the one that's making me worry the most, is none other than Steve Dinosaur. So if you don't know who this guy is, he's the guy behind everything that happened storyline wise in chapter 6 and especially chapter 7. He took out the lead role in Simpsons seasons, and we know that the story from that season to now has literally brought back popularity to the game. The story alone, by the way. A lot of people, including me, are really involved in what has been going on right now. And for them to just out of the blue fire the director is beyond bad. The last time this happened, we've had, with Donald Musser being the director of like the older storyline, like around chapter 1, 2, 3, and he left in chapter 3. Well, that was leaving, not quite like firing, but still that led to the storyline falling into the abyss for the span of like 2 to 3 years, which was not fun, like at all. It's genuinely heartbreaking to see such a passionate person for the story just get laid off for no reason at all. And yeah, because even he was the guy behind writing the dialogue, behind like orchestrating like the live events and stuff. All of that was him. And now that leaves the question, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen to the story? Which is the thing I'm gonna worry the most about. Like, gameplay, as much as gameplay can have a drought, be buggy and stuff, it's gonna be fun regardless. I think the gameplay is not gonna kill the, game itself, because the developers know how to make the game. But when it comes to the story, we've seen that not everyone is capable of making a good story in Epic. We've seen a lot of that in Chapter 4 and 5. And having a person that was that passionate to bring back the story just get fired out of nowhere was like beyond bad. Again, the most unfortunate thing is also the fact that all of these things happened in the midst of one of the best seasons we've ever had, right? As we know, Chapter 7 Season 2 Showdown, whatever you want to call it, is one of the best seasons gameplay wise we've had like ever. Gameplay and story, just like whatever Steve Danister was fucking cooking with this season was just like the best thing ever, right? And seeing that it might not end up having anything good to lead to, it's just so heartbreaking. And all of these layoffs, game was shutting down, V-Buck prices, oh my god, I cannot say that word. Increasing the V-Buck prices leads to the question that like these changes have been made for money, because Tim Sweeney said that Epic Games in 2025 was actively losing money. And that begs the question, what the hell was happening to all that money? Like, where was that money going? We know that Epic Games is a multi-billion-dollar company, like a really important and lucrative company. And despite making billions, they're still like not making money, as of what Tim Sweeney said. It turns out that the reason was actually his poor management of the company. Most of the money that Fortnite is making is not going to the employees, it's not going to even the collabs, whatever. The collabs are fine. I don't think they're the issue, even though they're like pumping out so many. A collab can cost money, but not as much as paying 40% of your company revenue to map makers. That's right, the reason all of this money is just vaporizing in thin air is because 40% of Epic Games revenue is going to UEFN creators. When I say this, don't blame the UEFN creators themselves, like whoever made Steal the Brain Rot, which is the biggest, talking point for this, phenomenon. They made like thousands daily. I'm talking like actually thousands of money, dollars daily off of that map. And that's like absurd. 40% of your company revenue going to that instead of going to the devs that actually work on your game is beyond me. Like it's just so like poorly managed. And that's not even the main, like they have spent I believe around 700 million on UEFN ever since it started in 2023, which is already a lot, like already a whole lot. I might have the numbers wrong, I don't remember. But when you factor in the other, elephant in the room, what is the fact that Tim Sweeney, for some reason, thinks he's gonna be the hero of the gaming industry and go fight off Apple and Google Play for years and years, spending billions, and when I say billions, I really mean billions, off of legal fees. And that's just not sustainable, in any way at all. Cool, we got back Epic Games on Google Play. I mean, not Google Epic Games. We got back Fortnite on Google Play and Apple. Cool, that's gonna bring them money a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough for them to fucking have spent billions on that. It's not gonna make them back billions. And all of this mismanagement of money led to the firing of so many talented people that have worked on the game and the company itself. It's not even just Epic Games. It's Psyonix, is the people behind Fall Guys, I don't remember their name, which got, acquired by Epic. All of those artists, all of the people that have made some, incredible work for Epic Games have just been fired at the cost, of funding UEFN creators and lawsuits instead of them. And that just leaves the game in a really shaky position, because all of the workers of Epic that were not laid off, we're just left in the blue, not knowing what the heck was gonna happen next. As of right now, I think Epic Games is gonna have a meeting discussing what's next. But they genuinely did this out of nowhere, not warning anyone, and just said, okay, yeah, let's just screw our game. Let's just not give time so we can figure this out. No, let's just cut everyone out for no reason. When all this money is being pumped into like people that don't deserve it as much as our own developers. These developers that were laid off are the people that genuinely brought back the game. I mentioned Evan Kinney and Steve Daniser and a bunch of other developers with like genuinely have brought back the game. They're the reason the game is back into the popularity that it is in, because it's getting more than like around 1 million players now, which like if you told that to someone last year, they would have said, what the heck, that's not possible. And like, it is possible because these incredible developers and leaders and whatever have made it so the game could come back through determination and passion for the IP, which clearly Tim Sweeney does not have. Even though in this, thing he promised that the storyline and live events and gameplay were gonna be still major part, how is that gonna happen if the people that made those happen got fired? It genuinely does not make sense. I cannot fathom how this game could progress. I still wanna, keep being hopeful about this, right? Because there still is passionate people behind the game. It might have, we might have seen 1,000 employees get fired, but there's another like 4,000 that are still actively working on the game. The thing is, it's gonna be shaky seeing, who, leads, these developers. And we'll see about that in the future, but really that's about it. They're just mismanaging money so bad, and it has been pissing me off to a level, an extent you guys cannot comprehend. It is that bad, really. So that's about it for this rant. I am really pissed off at Epic and for how they've been managing their company. When it comes to my channel, I want to talk a little bit about myself in this video, since as I said on Twitter and on community post, I will be postponing my Chapter 7 Season 1 experience video. That was gonna be a special video, but I'm not feeling like making that video, and I'm gonna move on doing projects that I am really excited about making, and you'll see them about the future. Also, because of the shutting down of Ballistic, I will be dropping best of Ballistic, because I have a bunch of Ballistic clips that I was gonna make a video on, but it turns out those are gonna be the last. So yeah, that's about that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I'm not gonna put too much effort in editing. It's just gonna be a little rant, because I think it's important to voice your opinion on things like this, things that matter, especially being a member of this community. Voicing your opinion is really important in this regard. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.